Dearest beloved Moojibaba, I know that there you go. And surely we have been in close contact over the years. Thank you for writing. I found your letter now. Immense gratitude, you write. Immense gratitude for you guiding us to our freedom and truth. I would like to take this blessed opportunity to ask for your grace and blessings so that there is full recognition of the self and any seeds of delusion, illusion, ego, identity, and fears are completely burnt and removed. Everybody who has tasted the nectar of the real, spontaneously I just want to come all the way home. We want to come all the way home because you know that this is not going to be found in any object in the world. It is not going to be found there. You are discovering this inside your heart. And you don't want anything to stop you from coming fully into your discovery. And this is a wise attitude, of course, and fruitful one, no? However, we all would love to have a switch that we could just switch off the mind. Just thank you very much, enough of you. But at the same time, we notice that, of course, the mind energy has been empowered through habit. And we are meant to experience the phase of the mental self, the psychological identity for a while. But you must know that you are experiencing on the base of consciousness. Consciousness is there first. It will take the shape of personhood for a while, and we don't know how long. We don't know. Certainly, some say before this present lifetime and life form, we have been moving, we call it like in soul, over many bodies in this journey of self-discovering. And what we can say is in this lifetime, in this life form, something has stirred into an awakening, and you are naturally convinced that the self is your reality and that you don't want to waste time, living in the shallow and narrow mode of personhood. You have received the darshan of God already. Now it's somehow any journey is a journey inward. Before, the journeys were outward. Now the seeming journey is heartward. And you may find that, of course, from time to time, some old habits may flare up. Something may happen, and without effort, we find ourselves back into the old regime of personal identity. I say, don't be too surprised at that. It is the force of habit. Yourself has not gone anywhere. Your truth is not moving out of the way to give stage to your mind. No, it is just a twist of attention, and we are back somehow experiencing as though we are in the old identity again. And just accept that it is not bad luck. It is not a terrible thing. This oscillation between person and presence may happen for a while. You may feel in the state of presence so blessed, so peaceful. Thank you. I'm so happy. You just want to stay here. And then somehow something happens and the pendulum swings outwards. And again, we're thinking, oh my gosh, what's happened? I don't know. This is horrible. I don't like to be in this. And again, back again. And you're feeling, thank you. Hallelujah to the truth. I'm so happy. I'm here again. So this oscillation plays for everybody for a while. By the momentum and the force of habit, it comes and goes. But what happens when it comes? It's as though we are hypnotized by the old patterns, and we are playing out the game of personhood. And then somehow by grace or by your satsang, you find yourself again just free and empty of the mind energy, and again in your natural place of silence, and it feels, oh, how divine, how blessed, and so on like that, no? And so everyone who are experiencing these states, they ask, how can we stabilize in this? Please help us to cut the mind dynamics so that we can be always in this state. And then I ask you, who is the one who is suffering the mind? Who is the one who is suffering the mind? And of course we feel, well, it's me. And I ask you, please, just let's focus a little bit on this sense of me again. Who is this me who is suffering the mind? And we find that sometimes people are a bit stuck. They don't know how to answer that. Because until now, for most people, we have not gone beyond the shallow reflection of what we are. We just says, I am me. But we have never thought beyond this. What is this I? Now I point you again, rather than going to try and untangle this mentally and to understand, which sometimes we feel like we have come to understand, but it has not gone deeply. So the early exercises that I gave, which is just to sit, leave aside these notions about I need to get rid of my mind, I need to suppress, or I need to throw the mind out. Have no intention for a moment. Not even good intentions. Leave the preparation to be something aside. And as you do that, even your present identity, who you take yourself to be, your desire for what you would like to happen in the future and all this type of stuff, every kind of mind tendency or habit, just to leave this aside for a moment. Just leave everything until there's nothing left that you are keeping. And this you can do right now. It's so practical and it's so immediate. Leave everything aside right now until there's nothing left to leave aside. So what remains here is a beautiful sense of just being empty. Now this emptiness is not something that you see with your physical eyes. It's an intuitive knowing. You're just here. Now, here, you know that you are, naturally. And this I am sense, look, it's not attached to any history. Please look with me as I'm sitting here now. This sense I am, and this is for anyone and everybody, this natural, untaught awareness of self is without history. It is not personal. So you are not a container of memories or concepts. Everyone. There is only the natural sense of being. And awareness is here. Not awareness of this, awareness of that, just awareness. You naturally know you exist. But you are what that is existing. Just look. Don't create and don't imagine. Start here. So of course, the mind habit wants to come in to give some feedback, to give some answers, but you know and you will know if that happens. No, not you, not now. I don't want any opinions about anything. Just you stay as you are. Okay? Also sometimes mind comes and feels like yes, but no, it's nothing. It's nothing. Come on, why wait for more nothing? It's just nothing is going on. You know, but its voice is not so what you may call, the influence is not strong now, because you have chosen simply to be. And this sense of being is not a verb. It's not that you are doing being. You simply are. Pay attention to this, everyone. Just pay attention to this. Wherever you may be, whatever country, whatever place you may be, your experience and seeing is universally one right now, if you follow. I'm not asking you to think about this. Simply just, you are here. You are here. Whatever it is that is here now, I want to ask you all some questions. And I'm not going to ask you necessarily for verbal response, but you can shake your head as to yes or not to say no. That's okay. I ask that you do this because by physically demonstrating what you see in simple yes or no responses, okay, has a power, because it's as though you are registering your seeing, not just imagining. So now we are here. We are simply here in the space of being. Now may I ask you a few simple questions again, which you may either nod as yes or no. Look, whatever is here, is it an object at all? No, it's not an object, not object. Is it merely a feeling? Is it merely a feeling? No, not merely feeling, not merely feeling. Is it a mood? Is it a mood? No, not a mood, not a mood. Is it personal? No, not personal, not personal. Thank you. Whatever it is, I call it sometimes just the is or the isness, to stay away from the words which we have used so often before and have developed other kind of connotations. Just that which is here now. Did it arrive, whatever you are aware of? Did it come from somewhere? I'm watching you, I'm with you, so I'm just registering your responses. This is an interactive moment, so I can see and feel your responses also. What you are aware of right now, what you're aware of right now. Is there any boundary to it? Like at a certain point you come to the end of it or something. So the feedback I'm seeing from you, no, there is no boundary to it. May I ask you, can it, whatever it is, in this knowingness, can it be sick? Can it ever get sick itself? My eyes are on you. Just let me know. Yeah, it cannot be sick. Have I got everyone's response here? Cannot be sick. can it ever get depressed? No, cannot. It cannot get depressed. Okay. Can I ask you are you imagining this or directly perceiving? You're imagining it? Not imagining. No need to imagine. No need to imagine. I'm going to take a risk and ask a question. Does it have any beginning? Simply. Is there any feeling of it has a starting point or any beginning? I'm with you here. Look, no beginning. Oh, let's go to the other hand now. Can it end or be destroyed in some way? Please look. No, it cannot be destroyed. Can it be ever against what you are or any person? It cannot be. Very good. Does it have any judgment in it at all? No, it has not any judgment. Can it belong to any one religion and not another one? Can it belong to anyone? Can anybody have ownership of that? I am watching just to hear from you. No. Very good. Wonderful. Let me ask you, you're so aware presently. Is it an object? I ask again, is it an object? Can it fade? Can it fade? Meaning, can it gradually disappear? Can it disappear? Did it appear? Wonderful. You see, this is why I asked you to postpone your thinking energy, to empty your mind completely of the usual habits of the mind, to be totally empty, even of personal identity. I ask this. Why to ask you to be so empty? Because when you're empty of all that you think you have learned, then I can ask you this type of question. This kind of question, which most people cannot even answer this. It is so, no university can teach you about it. And yet, without spending time to think and to work anything out, your responses are arising as soon as the question is heard. Why? May I ask you another question? How far away from you is it? What you're aware of now? How far do you have to go to meet it? Do you have to make some distance to connect with it? No distance. No distance. So this is what I've been asking you, these questions, is the questions I've been asking beings all over the world, whatever background they've come from, whatever belief systems they've had, whatever background they've had to their life, all these things, and largely the response is coming from here. Almost 95-96% of people are aware. Some people say, I can't work it out. I say, okay, for the moment, if I leave those aside, the vast majority are seeing and responding the same way. So it doesn't matter which country you're in. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It doesn't matter if you're black or you're white. It doesn't matter these things. The seeing is confirming something that cannot be touched. It is not a form. So I'm just going to go over for myself again. You say, when you're asked, is it an object? You say, it is not an object. I ask again, does it have any shape or size? Now I ask you, it has no shape or size. Is it a mood? You say, no, it's not a mood. What about a feeling? No, it is not a feeling. Can it fade away? For instance, now you are aware of it. Let's say you wake up tomorrow. Will it have gone? Can it go? Can it go away? I'm watching. Can it go away? No, cannot go away. I asked you, can it be sick? You said no. I asked you, can it get depressed? You said no, it cannot get depressed. I said, where did it begin? Does it have a starting place? You say it hasn't got a starting place. I say, does it have an ending place? You say, no, it doesn't have an ending place. I say, does it judge? You say, it does not judge. I ask you, can it belong to any particular group? You say, no. It's not a religious group or category. Can any government take hold of it? No, it cannot do that. I said, okay. I mean, well, was it born? No, it's not born. Can I ask you, can it die? Can it die? Oh my gosh, can it die? Then I ask you, how long will it take you to reach it? You say, no distance. So I said, if this is the response from you, then what you are perceiving directly, what you are being aware of, is your own being, your own self, your own nature, in truth. Can it come to an end? Are you in a state of hypnosis? No, you see. So look what you are verifying today. What you are verifying by yourself. If you are someone who like to figure things out with your head, you're used to using your head, right now you may feel a bit lost, like, I don't know, I cannot answer any of those questions. Like this. But I'm happy with your responses. You are right now. I don't even want to say you are in contact with it. Can you be separate from it? Then look at that. Look at that. For the first time, you're speaking the truth. For the first time. You don't need an opinion. You can see directly without your physical eyes, with your inner knowingness. Did you have to go deep, 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 deep to find what you are seeing? No. You see, this is the fruit of your satsang. Can anyone take it away from you? How wonderful. How wonderful. In what way can you be different from this? Yes. So this is the fruit of the invitation to freedom. So if I say, okay, as an exercise, it's finished. So has this gone away? Is this finished? This is true self-discovery. This is not asking you the opinions of your mind, which today you may say it's like this, and tomorrow you say it's not like this. If I were to see you in 3 weeks, accidentally we bump into each other, will you have to take time to say, wait a second, this thing that I've got to try and find it. Can it hide? Huh? Yes. So this is itself a joy in just looking. Is it merely a mental discovery? No. Thank you. Thank you. And what a joy to watch you in your own presence, resting inside your own being. So even if suppose now the mind comes, big tsunami, can it disturb this? Can this go away? And this is all you need to really know, because the mind will come and it will feel like you are hypnotized into identifying again. And I'm lost again. Yesterday the satsang was so good, and you'll be speaking like that. I call it sleep talking, sleepwalking, sleep living. How to wake up out of this sleep? Well, is this asleep or awake? Beyond sleeping and awake. How much did you pay for it? Like this, you see. Like this. And I asked you, are you in some hypnotic state? Are you visualizing? Are you visualizing the self? No. No. The self cannot be visualized. You may try and imagine something, but it will not be this. This is this. This you are. And at the same time, we were given the opportunity and the experience to identify with this instrumental body in order to taste the sense of being a separate private person who learn things through our mind, who experience interrelated opposites and all the emotions. We are meant to experience everything. To experience the sense of fear, this sense of fear of dying, sometimes the fear of living, experience to be without important things, experience to be afraid, experience to be in love, experience to be alone, experience to be hungry. All these things we must experience. We must experience, not as a punishment, but because consciousness needed to explore, to experience the diversity of its capacity to manifest differences understand that. But understand that that does not need to stop in its manifestation. But now, as you bring your attention to be present and to be one with, is your attention separate from this? We know this is a little bit of a subtle question, because it seems as though when the attention turns towards the mind and the sense of identity and so on, whole different experiences are coming into play. And those experiences are believed on the basis of personal identity. And whenever we go into the state of personal identity, it is as though the identity eclipses your natural knowing that you have just been sharing with me. And you start to speak from the place of the person, which I call the mask that appears as though it can cover the self. Can anything cover the self? I'm asking this question now. And yet, through the mind, it appears as though the self was an experience and now it's gone. I cannot find it. And the I who says, oh, the self, the experience is gone, I don't know what to do. This I that is appearing is also appearing in the same space of awareness that you are. But you forget because attention goes into identity as a person. As you spend time to verify, to marinate in that seeing, which is your truth, it will become increasingly clear how the mistake is made. Now, can I ask you, the exercise is finished. For now, the exercise is finished. Okay? Has it gone? The self gone? I'll keep checking in with you if it has gone. Suppose you had the ability, I can ask you this question, we can play. Suppose you could go into a spaceship and travel to a very, very far distant planet. Will it not be there? Can you leave yourself? And this is the thing. And how simple, and yet what a mystery that the mind movement come, and it's as though we got hypnotized into becoming a finite thing again. So you are going to get used to this. You have received in yourself, by yourself, the grace of real seeing. And even though some distortion, some distractedness may come and play for a while, it will get weaker and weaker as you continue to affirm and confirm your true seeing like that. This is how powerful it is. Oh, powerful it is. So it was very good for me to share this with you in your presence. You came, and because of you, somehow I have been able to introduce again the invitation. And this, when I ask you, and I ask everybody, okay, can you ever not be this? Yeah. You can take your time. You can take your time. Yeah. Wonderful. So thank you, Nupura Nishit. Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful for now. This is very, very
Thank you,
good.
Guruji.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful,
Thank you,
wonderful.
Guruji.
We love
Thank
you,
you, thank you,
Guruji.
Nupura.
Love you so much.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Love you, Guruji.
Thank you. Let's take a moment and just to, I don't know, even if I say to be with this, it's okay. I can say be with this. because of the language of conditioning and habit, I have to say, be with this. But actually, you are this. You are more this than any person you previously thought you were. And you may say you are your person too, but that's a much more superficial state. Because one day you're like this, another day like that. Another day like this, another day like that. But from this place, if I ask you, you will not say, oh, yesterday I'm different from how I am today. Because it is not a mood. It is not a feeling. It is not an abstraction. It is not a visualization. It is not a product of imagination. It is not a belief. It is not an object. It simply is. Pay attention just to this. In what direction can you look where this is no more? Wonderful. You know, there will come a moment, a time, when having come to this recognition, this realization, okay? And I say we have to stabilize in it, because this me factor, this I factor, this we factor, which seems to admit to a sort of personal identity, that sense of, yes, I came back to myself and I go away from myself, will feel natural for a while to keep saying that. But maybe something changed. Maybe whenever you feel, you know what, I don't know what I like anymore, you will hear that within the wider space of your true being. And you may just laugh to yourself and say, what is that? You may just catch yourself laughing. Who was that? Who is making all these decisions? Who is suffering all these moods? So this is the power of self-inquiry, now presented in the simple form of invitation to freedom, I call like that. And it is with you. What is it is with you? Is that really true? Is the self with you? Who are you? How much distance between you and the true self? So what we are experiencing is a natural sense of separateness that comes with years and years of living in the notion of being this person. And the personal identity will feel a bit left out, like, oh, so you want to leave me now? So sometimes it comes back and it may create, it seems experientially in the mind, like some kind of tantrum, some sort of distortion of perception. My mind just won't stop and all this type of stuff. For a little bit, it may happen. But has anything happened here? I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, D. I'm looking at you, Michael. I'm looking at you, Yam, and Joel, and Hendrik, and Donna, each of you, Duong, Sandy, Julian, Maureen, all of you. When will this be lost, and what will remove this knowing? So what is called the realization of the self is that the sense of division between yourself in the mind and person and the self which is unchanging, somehow something merges. The shallower idea of the self, of the personal self, is merging in the natural being more and more. Are you going to look different? Well, if you look different, it's going to be better. It's going to be a face which is not carrying the reading of stress and anxiety and fear and desire and neediness. No, it will be what I call you without you, meaning without all that stuffy. And often when I see people in satsang, I have a sense I'm seeing your true face. What is true face? Not the face of your thoughts and attachments and fears, but the face, the feature, the countenance of your pure being. Radiant, silent, peaceful, wise. Don't try to be that. Don't try. It doesn't work. Because the one trying to be that is already, you've been tricked into being a person trying to be that. When I asked you to look, you made a discovery, not an invention. So that is the power of your looking. Okay? There will come a time when just this is enough. Just this is like a reminding. Why are you speaking as though you are this person? And you'll, thank you, Mooji. Thank you. You see, I was distracted for a moment. We are largely suffering from distractedness from our central being. This is a kind of paradox. But gradually, you may say, how can I make the two merge together? Where are you speaking from? Who asked this? So I say, just by sitting, being at one with, which meaning that your alreadiness being in natural recognition, confirmed through direct seeing and non-dual seeing, by this resting in the awareness, all the troubles, all the complicatedness, all the to-do lists softens down and merge in being. And you will find spontaneously you're responding. Actions, reactions, interactions are seen to be and experienced to be happening spontaneously. Trust this. So why do I say trust it? Because through the mind sometimes you may think, I can't deal with the world by simply being here. That's another trick. I have so many things to do, I'm under so many pressures. That's going back into the old regime of identity. Learn to be quiet with yourself. Don't go with reactions when they come from the mind. You'll begin to know this. I could sit here and talk about it for a long time, but I will not, because it doesn't work like that. What works is you paying attention just to the sense of being. It may seem oversimplistic or even naive to you, but what power will come out of this? So can I take it while I'm sitting here with you and all of you that a natural sense of being loyal to your truth is felt inside your heart? You don't have to go somewhere else for that, wherever you are. Sometimes you may have to step aside from the traffic of, worldly noise for a moment just to sit and clarify your mind and your being again. Now, it may just be 5 minutes just to sit. And as you learn to do this, you'll find that you naturally are attracted to staying and honoring yourself in this way. If somebody asks you, what are you doing? Don't say, I'm trying to be one with myself. Don't talk like that, because people will just think you're crazy. Just say, I'm just taking a moment just to sit quietly. You don't have to go and tell anybody anything. I'm not turning you into evangelists. I'm telling you just to rest in your being and find the power of this. Okay? And how beautiful, how impactful this will be. I cannot say in what area of your life. Sometimes the people who you are used to being close with may not understand you, because we all have a picture of each other. And when someone change from the shape you're used to seeing them through, something doesn't like it. We want to see you back in the old shape in the mind of people. So don't worry about that. Don't try too hard to make people understand anything. But you'll find that you're able to be kind and without judgment, that you'll have a deep, natural confidence, not an egoic confidence, and a peacefulness about you that is undeniable. Sometimes some people are intimidated by the presence of someone who's awake. It's a superficial response, or someone who is deepening in their self-discovery. You may find that you expect that people are going to notice this and want to say nice things to you, but you might be surprised that people go, "Oh, who do you think you are?" and all of this kind of stuff. And don't say anything clever. Just stay inside your heart. Make it, even though you might feel you're being tested, just stay with what you are, like this. And your actions that flow from awareness, they always have a deep power, a beautiful quality about them. So I have all these letters to go through. I think I've answered all of them in just this invitation, to be honest with you. I could go through and read. There's some beautiful letters, but we have surpassed them. We have surpassed. If I have to answer this one, yes, well, I think maybe you need to take a bit more time away from work and give a bit more energy to this and that. So no. We don't have to go into that. Just you stay in this, honor this, and you're going to find that your life becomes magical. One's life has to be magical, but not from your mind, I'm going to try and make my life. No, because the God life, the real life, is magical. Don't try to be too predictable and too consistent. These are things that the mind is trying to be. There's something unpredictable about someone who's really alive. Meaning unpredictable in the sense that, they always surprise you and they're always surprising themselves. If I can say that, it's not true. You don't surprise yourself. When you are at peace with yourself, something is just in a deep sense of acceptance, and you find your way. And this is what is beautiful about today's satsang with you, is that I'm not giving you a lot of instructions. I'm just pointing you back to yourself. Everything is already with you in your natural being. Begin to enjoy the adventure of self-discovering and the fruits that come from this. You see? Just be with this. Your mind might say, but I wanted you to answer my question. Don't go backwards. You're here. I'm not even going to ask you to go forward even. Stay in your silence. The self is not behind or before. It is always ever present, and it is unlimited. I hold all of you inside my heart, I tell you this, because we have met, and we have met in the most true way human beings can meet. In the most true ways. I've not come to talk to you about football or politics in the United States right now. I'm not going to talk about this. This is too high for this. This is too high for this. Okay? You will find your way. You will find your way. Because you are not anymore being guided by by the torchlight of the mind, but by the radiance of the heart. And it is beautiful. Are you going to make mistakes? Seemingly. You will find seeming mistakes. But guess what? It's not a big deal. They will be sort of what I may call growth hormones. They will help you to discover more deeper things in your being. How are you feeling, guys? Yeah, of course. Of course. I am not surprised. Of course. Of course. But there's going to come a time when you won't mind about how you're feeling if the feelings are coming from the mind, and you will know the difference. They are pure feelings which are arising out of the perfume of your own being. You don't have to plan for those. Spontaneously, it is as though you're kissed from within, and you feel like you're lifted above the clouds of the mind. But this is just a spontaneous part of the display of the spontaneity that will, the range of expressions arising from the true nature. And this is where, in some mysterious way, you cannot explain this beautiful transforming, this beautiful grounding. And as I said before, you don't have to explain it. You don't have to write a thesis about it. It is just the fragrance of your own being. What am I going to do with these letters? I don't know. How often I have waited for this kind of opportunity. I'm always find myself, because it's the highest way I can be with you. Don't feel that somehow you have unanswered questions. You probably find what your questions are not solved, they are dissolved by the light of your own presence. How often I've longed to be with you like this. So if the mind come and go, yeah, but I wanted you to talk about this. Please tell me a bit more about reincarnation. What happens after this and this? No, please. Don't belittle yourself. Don't belittle yourself. Remain in the height of your being. Remain in the height of your being. And you will know everything is fine. Leave it to God. Everything is fine. Continue growing inwardly. This is true aliveness. This is true life. And it's you. I am not telling you any compliments. You don't need compliment. Truth is enough. The truth is enough. I am not flattering you. And I am telling you, and I'm showing you, and you are discovering for yourself what is here. Honor this. We have a whole saying, abide in this. This is grace. This is being in God's presence directly. This is walking in truth. So I am very happy for this evening's satsang. I see that, I don't know, maybe I can try a question, but it may not happen. It may not happen. Okay? It may not happen. I'm just going to look and see. Because by the... For instance, I'm looking like this. I won't say who, she knows. Dearest Mooji, the pandemic has allowed me more time to deepen the recognition of that which you point to, that you have discovered. This, in turn, is giving me a clearer view of what I am not, from which I am most grateful. Wonderful. One of the things that has come into view through this is the pull of distraction away from the self. The attention of the mind can be like away from the self. So tell me now, which direction can you go to be away from the self, in truth? You see, I'm just asking open question, okay? When you had a placement, a very physical identity that was being honored, then relative to that identity in place and time, you can say, I'm moving away from something, I'm distracted away. But when you are discovering the self which is everywhere, and it's not imagination, you're in direct oneness with your seeing, simply be with that. If I were to say, try to do this, you have accomplished it. Now honor it. How to honor it. Don't go out looking for how to honor the self. The mind will show you when you need to honor yourself. You follow? The mind itself will come to show you now you need to honor yourself, because every time you turn to me, I'm going to bite you. He's going to tell you like that. Every time you turn and start to pick up the how to do and what not to do and stuff, you're going to find it bites you with confusion, with anxieties. Stay as the self. Keep quiet. If something needs to be known, don't be in a rush. Wait on God's timing. God's timing is very, very in tune with your heart vibration. Don't worry. Don't listen to the mind's assessment of your life or anybody else's life. Learn to be one with your own silence and being. And don't imagine that somehow you're suppressing something. No. You don't have to suppress the mind. You can control him. Meaning that you see the energy wants to go there, but you know that you know through your intuition, you know through your sensibility that it is not truthful. It's just out of habit or addiction or neediness. So when you pay attention, rather than fighting the mind or resisting, remember yourself, be back into your heart again, and see, what does awareness want? What does awareness want, and from who? And you find everything is flowing again out. And I would love that as these days continue and life continue to unfold in its natural unfolding, that some way I would love to be in touch with you and to see how you're doing. And I will tell you something, it's going to be mysterious. It's going to be mysterious. Yes, you will see. You will see. By the grace of God, you will see. So, my beloved ones, we are happy together in this one. May I ask you another question? In this awareness, what time is it there? What season? This is what I call divine intelligence. It's not working like the earthly mind. whatever you do, wherever you are, everything is taking place in this realm of being, you can say. It doesn't matter whether it goes fast or slow or up or down. It's all a movement in the mind arising in the unchanging awareness self. You're in the God zone. And such peace is going to keep arising with you, such joy unmerited, such aliveness. The self can never leave you. Everything will come and go because of consciousness, playing in and out like clouds floating by in the infinite expanse of the sky, unchanging. You will notice this to your increasing joy. I tell you this thing. Nobody can know you, even personally. Everyone has only a view, a perspective, and not stable. Thank God, it's okay. But this is not a mental knowing. It's a non-dual awareness. Be with it. And you will be truly in love, a non-dual love. Whatever you do through the intention of personhood, it's never fully successful. But here you move because love compels you. The grace of God guides you. And more you'll find the sense of separation and distance is reducing and reducing. The sense of feeling alienated and separate from the core, from God, from truth is reducing. And you will not even know when they meet. You are already in your oneness. Thank you. Thank you. And love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. You have given me a beautiful evening also. Can it really be this simple? Can it really be this simple? Yes. 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 You are the embodiment of love itself. I am sharing this with you. You are the embodiment of love itself. But you will still have to hold fast. You will still have to pay attention, not go to sleep in the mind. You have to keep on confirming every time mind comes to test you. Remember, it's not testing you so that you shall fail, but that you need it to develop the muscles of discernment. You are winning yourself back. You will feel times when you feel, I'm not as strong as I was yesterday. It is a feeling, but don't give it too much. Just go back immediately. Pay attention to your heart and see what your heart has to say about it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to spend a few moments just to sit in silence with you so I can just keep bathing in your presence, registering your presence in my heart. I had this feeling at a certain point, have I left anything out? Because I had so much letters. I think, how am I going to reach each one? And then I checked in, and I've left nothing out. And yet I am not keeping anything at all. Just like you can be right now. Don't be holding on to anything, any shape at all. Remain shapeless. This is just for you.